So, how do you feel being black in America, man?
Y'all know what? I want to do it. Oh.
Right, keep it going, keep it going. You telling the truth.
I can't.
That's why it's called the truth.
I'm black, and I'm currently undergoing a background check for a job, and so I don't know if I can be as candid as I need to be.
Well, just respect that. Give a simple answer.
So black in America, man. I mean, to me it's a mixed bag because I'm proud to be black in America. We have our challenges every day. Like I face challenges in my professional life, like definitely. I'm the only black male where I work. In an office of about 30 people. I'm an attorney, so I'm the only black male in there. You know, it's not a big deal, but one day I just noticed it. Like, man, we're in a meeting, and I'm just looking around, and you tend to notice that when you're only one like you in a space. So yeah.
The way society is, do you feel like we have a culture still, or is it more of a culture that allowed us to have?
We definitely have a culture. I mean, I love black culture. I love being in black spaces and experiencing that culture. I'm a father. I have a daughter. We don't get to experience the culture all the time because of our zip code. I'm just being frank with you. So I go out of my way to make sure that she gets to see the culture and like have part of what I had growing up. You know, I miss it myself, but for her, I need her to feel that, to feel grounded. I just feel like that's the only way she can really feel grounded and know who she really is. So I think we got a culture, the good and the bad. But you know, it's crazy how you can be a black person from Arkansas and then you meet a black person from Georgia and y'all can relate on so many levels. So we definitely have a culture in that aspect. Yeah, a black leader. I'm a pick two. They receive a lot of hate though. But I think that if somebody that everybody knows, I'm gonna say Jay-Z or LeBron James. And
Can I stop you real quick?
Go ahead.
That's what society has got us so off what it takes to be a leader in our community.
You think so?
How can a man that he's an athlete, I can't say that he didn't elevate himself educational wise after becoming an athlete, but his struggle wasn't the same as ours. And neither one of their struggle was the same as ours. They was in sports. So what gives them the credibility to speak for the masses of people that actually struggle?
That's why I pick both of them, because I feel like their struggles are examples. Like neither one of them is a high school graduate.
That's the only way that we can excel?
And I'm not even talking about them as athletes or a rapper. I'm talking about how LeBron made his 4 best friends millionaires, how he built a school, how he's a good family man, he's a good husband, he's raised his kids, he's there. Same thing with Jay-Z, he's a family man. Those are the examples that I'm looking at, and the fact that they go into these spaces, especially like in the Jay-Z case, where he may be the only one that looks like him, and he's risen through those ranks, and he's established businesses, he has business sense. Like if you listen to his raps, they're not the same as in '96, because now he talks about securing your family's fortune and things of that nature. So I'm not even talking about them entertainment-wise. Yes, LeBron James was gifted physically, but what's Jay-Z's excuse? He wasn't gifted lyrically. He learned how to be a lyricist.
But at the
any
same time,
lyricist learn how to be a lyricist.
And I understand why a lot of people say them, because they're pushed to the front by society.
They're many more.
This wasn't their path until they became rich. Because if you think about it, Jay-Z was all negative until he became rich.
Exactly.
His whole story is negative.
But that's why I consider him a role model, because you come from the depths of society, and I'm telling you, I can relate.
Role model or leader?
Both. You don't have to be a leader, you don't necessarily have to stand up. You don't have to be Obama, which I would consider him as well. You don't have to speak And you don't have to get a group of people and move them this way. Sometimes you lead by example. You know, you lead by example and you walk in those steps and you create a path. Both of those men have made so many black men rich.
That's true.
You know, and that's the aspect that I'm coming from.
And I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect
you
that.
know,
I'm not gonna say. See, my example of what a leader is, they don't fit that for me.
I get it. I understand that.
Because they, since small,
yeah,
one was gifted with street hustle, the other was gifted with a God-given
But you
talent.
gotta learn that.
I got you. You gotta.
You gotta get out and get that.
You gotta learn that.
Yeah.
But.
And we all know somebody that been put in position they ain't do what they supposed
Most
to do.
people fail.
Yeah.
Most people fail. Most of them end up behind bars or dead.
Yeah.
And I
To
commend
navigate
what
it,
they've done. I just don't see
to
them
do what
being
he
able to
did.
speak for it
Let me
because
tell you
they
what
are
Jay-Z
rich
did that was so
athletes
dope.
who are rappers.
But they're rich now. That's the thing. He wasn't rich and he was in the dope game and he left the dope game.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of people don't survive
found
that.
a way out.
Yes. He stacked his money. He used that money to make it legal. Like Springer Bell was trying to do, like James St. Patrick on Power. What they was trying to do.
Right.
But he actually did it in real life, in real time. Like if so many of our hustlers that got their money now, flipped it and bought a business or whatever. I know there's legalities to that.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You start this
Them
restaurant.
500 companies though.
Now, your legitimate business, you can buy a house.
So what's up? It's your girl Mirrors Beauty as always, and we got with us today.
I'm Katrina. Nice to meet you.
Katrina,
Nice to
thank
meet
you
you.
so much. Nice to meet you as well. So today we're talking about being black in America, you know, in honor of Juneteenth. And so one of the questions that I like to ask you, starting off, is what do you think your definition of black culture is?
Royalty. You know, we come from a long line of ancestors that have always been able to endure and come up and create the next thing. America wouldn't be what it is without us.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay. And so, now you almost threw me off with that.
Okay,
America
come on,
wouldn't be
come
what it
on,
is.
come on.
Okay. And so, in honor of that, and we're thinking about that, who do you feel like some of our modern day black leaders or role models are in today's society?
I don't think we really have a clear role model or leader today. I think we're looking and still searching for that. And I think that's why we're still lost in where we are. We're caught up in, what do you say, conscious dissonance. So we listen to a lot of music, and because it has a great beat, you know, we tend to let go of the message and how it influences.
Okay.
So I think we're still looking for that.
Okay, final question for you, potentially. What does it mean to be black in America to you?
Black in America, it means it's great. Like the potential is there. I mean, you have the ability to do great things and create your own platform and do what you need to do and inspire our people. I'm a school teacher, so I inspire kids every day, all day long. So, you know, that's what we do. You know, we make history every day.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, one final question.
Go ahead.
What do you think about black love today?
Black love today, man, it exists. It is out there. Even though, you know, we always see the narrative of something else, it actually truly exists. I'm an old school type of person, so, you know, I believe in courting, dating, relationship, then let's get married. So I think if we go back to that, you know, we'll have a lot of families and black families and stuff together. So.
Okay, alrighty. Well, thank you so much for your time, Katrina. We appreciate you. What does it mean to you to be black in America?
I ain't gonna lie, I feel happy to be black in America. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a young man. I just graduated from TSU in December, so
Congratulations.
appreciate you. Appreciate you. I also do R&B and rap music. My name Loaded, so you know, being a young black man, I mean, it's challenging sometimes. You know, everywhere I go, you know, people be looking like, who is this? But you know, I'm proud.
Okay.
I'm proud. You know
Okay,
what
now I
I'm
gotta ask you one more question though.
happening?
So who are some of your leaders or your modern day role models? Who do you look up to?
I say my pops for one.
Okay.
And then, I mean, you know, just people that stand for something. People that stand for something, you know, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King.
Okay.
I look up to a lot of artists too, like LL Cool J, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? People like that. Drake, you know, just people that mean something. Cole, Kendrick, people that actually mean something to the community. That ain't always talking about violence, you know what I'm saying? We gotta stop the violence in the youth, you know?
Yeah, that's a
So
fact.
would you naming a couple older and new generation role models as far as a leader and a voice for the people?
What you mean? What was the question though?
Who do you see that stands out as a leader or that actually represents a voice for us?
Yeah, I would say
You had to pick one person that's relevant right now today.
relevant right now. Dang, that's a good question, man. I ain't gonna lie. It ain't really too many people I would say like somebody like LeBron. Bron, if I'm going athlete, you know, LeBron, you know, he just built that housing for people that couldn't afford to go to his school, you know. But yeah, Bron, I say Bron for sure. And myself, you know what I'm saying. I also run I also have my outreach program I started for the youth, man. It's called Stop the Bullying Tour. Last semester I went to 15 schools and I talked to kids.
So we gonna get you at
awareness.
Lead Academy.
Whatever you need me to do, Queen, I got you.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever you need me to do, I got you. Yo, my name Lotus Music, man. You can follow me on all social media and streaming platforms, LOTISMUSIC. Subscribe to the YouTube, new music on the way. Let's go.
Well, since we doing Black in America and we all black, have you ever experienced racism?
Absolutely. And when I tell you Chattanooga, Hickson, Tennessee specifically, I experienced, like, it was to the point where, like, I became that nigga. And I don't want to say it like that, but sometimes racism will put you in a position where that's not really who you are. But if you're going to judge me automatically, sometimes I might have to rise to the occasion. And so I definitely had one particular incident at Olive Garden in Hickson, Tennessee, where I had to be that nigga. Like, and I wasn't that nigga, but you tried to treat me like one. So I'm gonna scare the shit out of you because at the end of the day, like, I can. Because at the end of the day, I can.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, and that's what you wanted. So yes, I have had those experiences. And growing up in Tennessee, like, again, this is the new Nashville. It hasn't always been this diverse, like black, white, period. So absolutely, I've experienced it on a number of levels.
I didn't experience it till I moved here, but I experienced it in Chicago on the segregation side. Because like I tell people, that's probably one of the most segregated cities I've ever been to. Like, I've been in a few places. Like, that place is Latinos here, blacks here, we got Germantown, Polish Town, Jewtown, like,
yeah, everybody got their area.
Man, like, the south side of Chicago is black.
Niggas, the hood.
That shit black. West side, black. Up north,
Northwest,
whitish, blue black.
Okay.
Downtown, I always say it's green. Ain't no race, ain't no color down there. It's straight green. If you got the money, you're allowed. But just growing up in a place like that, but the first time I ever heard the word nigga come out of a white person's mouth was in Tennessee. Being here. And I remember working at Comcast, the white dude walked up to me and was like, "Don't I know you? Ain't your mama, ain't your mama and your daddy, Uncle Ben?" I'm like, I'm fresh down. I'm like, man, I was so ready on his ass, but like, I just got this job. I went straight to the manager, and this is what pissed me off. Just stay away from him. I'm like, really?
Yeah, because that's
okay. All right. Okay.
Are you saying I said tell the joke?
Oh, this motherfucker! Look, he okay. I'm in line getting my Comcast equipment. He behind me. He tapped my shoulder. He like, "Hey man, you knew him?" I'm like, "Yeah man, just got the job." Blah blah blah. He's like, "That's cool." He's like, "No, I know you." I'm like, "Nah, I just moved. I just moved from Chicago." He's like, "No, man, I do know you." I'm like, "Bro, you don't know me. I don't for me." He's like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "Your mama ain't your mama and your daddy, Uncle Ben." And I looked at this motherfucker also. I'm talking. I was that. You know how they show that Arthur meme with his fist balled up.
Got the big
First day at work, bro. I needed that job. I needed that job.
I would have had to crush him.
I needed the Comcast.
I told him, go on, get in front of me, man.
I needed that Comcast.
Because I'm going to hit you in the back of your head.
Yeah, not the back of your head.
I needed the job, but other than I already put hands on that white boy.
That was some blatant racism. What about you, P?
I done dealt with racism a lot down here. In prison. I'm going to tell you something, though, what I found out about skinheads in prison. If you deal with the very intelligent ones, they're not racist. They don't even not dislike you or dislike you as a group of people. None of that. Now, they see things that we do as a people and they highlight it because they don't see that much with they people.
Yeah.
Killing each other.
Yeah, shit like that. Y'all
But they have a high murder rate, white on white crime, just like blacks. Right. When you do the numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just not televised so much. It's not told. That story, that negative stories aren't being told in the media, in the public, like ours.
But the Nebraska news.
Yeah, but the intelligent ones and the leaders of them, they really don't have nothing against you as being a black person. They just love their people.
Yes.
They just want to empower themselves and their people.
Yeah. It's not about hating.
Same way we should be as black people. It ain't that we gotta hate you just to be a better
And that's what they kind of say a little bit when we say, why y'all all for black people? When they kind of say it after a while, when it become all about y'all, it's a hate thing. Something I'm like, how is that possible? Just because we want to uplift our people, you know what I mean?
He says you got the dummies in the group that the rednecks that's a skinhead that fuck them niggers.
Yeah.
He think he wanna box, shoot, whatever it is, because he don't like blacks.
Yeah.
Because he done had a bad dealing with a black guy before.
Yeah.
But you get the small ones that ain't never had a bad dealing with him and they actually leaders in prison, they the coolest motherfuckers in the world.
I told you.
I'm about they might not show you a level of camaraderie ship in front of their other group.
Right.
Don't be faking. Don't be-
But behind closed doors, I done been in the rooms with some of them.
I'm not okay with that.
And they have to. It's in prison.
Fuck that.
I can't make you follow me if I'm not doing what you think I should be doing.
But then it circles back to, so who has real leaders? Because that's false leadership.
That's false leadership, but it's to push an agenda. I still got to push the agenda. The agenda is white power, or not even white power for them.
But
the agenda
how afflicted that is. I get it. I mean, like,
that's the world.
Yeah,
that's afflicted though.
But it is real, like you say, the way the prison system works. That's kind of how the world work on the outside. You know, it's very.
And you'll see some of the worst ones in prison. That skinheads and racists on the street. Oh, what's up, Pierre? I ain't seen you in years, man. How you been doing? What you doing right now? They the nicest motherfucker in the world out there. Because they scared to death in here because they ain't got no, it's just them.
Yeah, it's just them.
And there, they get in that little group. Oh yeah, they take their ass whooping because they whole group gonna take their ass whooping with them.
Right. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, well, how y'all feel about black women getting their bodies done?
Well, this is funny though, because we was just in Atlanta doing the shout out to the Black Effect Podcast Festival. We literally walked up to a girl that had on a blue dress, body was right, and out of the whole process of her telling us everything, she ended up still saying she wanted to get the mommy makeover. And we looking at her
And
like
she said everything was real.
everything was real. When we looking at her like
everything didn't look
everything
real.
tucked and but
It didn't look.
yeah,
It looked
it
real.
did look real. But
It looked beautiful.
Yeah, but it looked tucked,
looked like
flat.
You
all
had
that.
you had to have the one pay for something.
Yeah.
But she was like, nah, she worked for iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
She was one of the people that put the program together. She was like, nah, all my stuff.
She said she want to do the mommy makeover.
Yeah.
She said
But-
she want to tighten this up, lift a little bit this. So
I'm not for it though.
you know, for it.
Yeah. I'm kind of against it. And that's what I was just kind of over here looking up. I know we've all heard the story of the Sarah Bartman, the African American woman who was like really like duty thing. Like she was thick as hell. And they basically like was using her to put her on display like she was some type of freak. Yeah, like picture. They would like Guinness World Book of Record, like like just have her. And so when I look at how we've digressed as a people.
But it's funny that you even say with that, because I remember we used to sit back so much and talk about the white women doing it. Like, oh, they get the breast done so much and da-da-da-da. Because once again, it wasn't a thing for us.
Yeah.
Like, even with the Brazilian girls.
Yeah.
I didn't know all them years them girls had fake bodies. Right. Like right now, like if you go look at the Miss World, the most people that win the most Miss Worlds is Venezuela. Venezuela started changing their bodies at 13.
But I don't think they're allowed to have any surgery for like them pageants.
Yes, most of them do, bro.
I don't know. 'Cause most of the winners, even the black girls that win, have white women bodies. They not doing.
No, I'm talking about their faces. No, I'm talking about their faces. I'm talking about their bodies. But yeah, but Venezuela, that's big there. Like they known.
Everything, every country down there, any type of motherfucking.
But like I was saying, with the Brazilian shit, like I was telling them years back in the day, you may look at flick like, damn, the Brazilian girls' bodies is right, but didn't know they were fake at the time. You just thought that was their body type.
That depends on when you was looking though. Plastic surgery is still relatively new, like the last 25 years.
Yeah, but I'm only 42, PS, so you know.
But shit, when I was looking at Telemundo, nigga, I was 9 and they were still looking like this.
No, I'm talking about.
That was 30 years ago. They were still looking like
that. The Brazilian, the Brazilians. Remember,
when I was watching Telemundo and Sábado Gente.
Okay.
Shit, that little fat Mexican, that little fat Brazilian, what's his name? I forget his name. Shit, he been having fine holes on his show since the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they I don't know what it is. They just made it different. That's why I don't like nothing but black women and Latino women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you white and flat, you gotta get to the back.
You know what? Yeah, but just the reason why I brought her up is because, as you know, DC, baby mother passed away recently, and RIP to her. And we never want to jump to conclusions, so we're not completely sure as to what her cause of death was.
Yeah, if she had any other health conditions.
Oh, exactly. So we don't want to. I don't want to, speculate. But what I will say is that I think we have to get back to a time where like natural bodies and beauty matters.
Workout.
Because when you look at some of those Tupac videos, when you look at some of the old school videos, like these women, they were natural. Like even if they were straight up and down, thick, you seen their real hair. We're just all chasing this false image, and I feel like it's ruining us.
It is. I agree. I just watched a black girl get her lips permanently tattooed.
Oh, I seen that shit. Red.
Yeah.
I saw that shit.
The shit that, and it's like the shit that y'all are putting yourselves
That shit
through.
is crazy.
This is what I think a lot of women are understanding. You trying to get a high value man by making adjustments to your body or your looks, but the man that you gonna end up getting ain't the man he don't really love you, because that's not you that you presenting yourself as. You presenting yourself as a new character. And so it is. That's what it is. Your insides is still the same. But your outsides are different.
All I pictured is
It's like you put on a different mask for a different reason.
Oh my God.
And I like to come back and say, and ladies, we doing this shit for men who built like boxes.
But you see that, y'all saw the Chinese dude who sued his wife because the kids came out ugly, and he found out she had plastic surgery. He's suing her ass.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It get a little iffy because like we even, once again, rest in peace even with Ye Mama. You know what I mean? It's
she was
like,
having surgery?
Yeah.
Plastic surgery?
Yeah, she was going to get surgery. So, it's like she was going to get some, so it's weird because like a rich guy, he forgot what business he owned, but he just died because he was trying to get a penis enlargement, but he died from the anesthesia. So even stuff like that, like this.
I watched a nigga get his legs.
I saw the leg, I saw that.
They say that's a new fad to be told.
That's new shit.
And it was a nigga.
No, because it's real, because most women do not, I hear it a lot. A lot of women say they don't like short guys.
I'm short and I've never had a problem. More issues.
You ain't that short though, P.
I ain't that tall either. I still got to get on my toes to get something off the top shelf.
Fake abs. Y'all know they be getting the fake abs.
I saw that, and you got a lot of
fake calves. I saw the fake calves.
I seen the white man get the booties.
I saw they are getting the
body plants.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
No, hold on.
Hold
on. Bando Cabo. Y'all know about him?
Oh yeah, he got the button plant.
He got his whole body done.
His chest.
His chest. Man, what my phone? Man,
I saw that.
He got his whole chest, his abs, everything. So when he did that, he from Chicago. When I started thinking about that, I was like, damn, Kevin Gates probably did the same thing too. Because I'm starting looking at some of these dudes that's making these quick transformations like this. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people making these quick transformations. And if you got the money, why not? They like to be girls.
But you can also swell up with the right shit and the right personal trainer and the right.
I mean, I know, but I'm
just saying. Of course, you can build your butt too, but they going out here and buying it is the thing.
Like Joe Rogan said the perfect example. He said, everybody want to look good, but how many people really go to the gym, put the effort in? So he said, do you think they built a machine for men to get their dicks larger? He's like, do you think niggas are used? He said, no, because motherfuckers lazy. They don't want to put the work in for the results. But they'll go get that surgery. You know what I mean? So
I'm not going to get no surgery.
He said, I'm going to use that machine.
I'm not using that machine. I'm coming. Hey, I'm coming.
I'm just saying, if it was, I'm just saying.
Everybody, it's going to be some, everybody going to swell their shit up. There's going to be some women around here that everybody can't have no more.
Yeah. Young.
But like your girl, Black China, not your girl, but Black China, she just took all that back.
What's her name did the same thing? K. Michelle.
Yeah, because they starting to realize they having some type of health problems.
At the end of the day, you're putting foreign objects in your body, and so your body, everybody's body is different. Your body can reject it. Like you got to keep maintenance on them things. Like
the crazy thing is that some of these women and strippers is going to other strippers getting these injections.
Remember the girl with the jail? Remember Buffy? No, Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slaver. Okay,
no, her name is Pebbles from Memphis. Yeah. She went to jail for shooting that shit in her ass.
She's still in jail.
No, she out.
She out?
Yeah, she only did like 12 years. She been out.
Only
Damn,
12.
12.
Her booty,
12
you should see how big her
That
booty
motherfucker,
is.
but she had the first.
No, she done had it
You know
done
what I'm saying?
since
But
she
she
been
was
out.
like one of the first
Yeah.
girls in the
She was
music
she was
industry.
big.
Like, where the fuck she come from?
Oh, was she a
Like,
video vixen?
yeah, that motherfucker was huge, but then
But you
come to
should see
find
it
out she
now.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should see it
Remember
now.
Boondocks made an episode about the Kim Kardashians when Pops was dating one of the Kardashians and they was on the restaurant and her booty blew up. They had a boom, boom, and then you see her girl just hit the table. You just see shit
I
right
need to start watching the Boondocks.
Boondocks.
The Boondocks hilarious.
I've watched them, but I done heard so
I
many.
told him the other day about the
Uncle
story.
who?
Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah.
Hey.
I was like, man.
Yeah, my Kim 41 is on there.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's crazy. They done took stuff off like that to tell the truth. They give it to you for a minute and then they say, oh no, this is too much information.
Yeah,
much.
it's too
It's too
much.
much.
Yeah,
Because it's giving out information.
Correct.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
for sure, for sure. But like as we always know, being black in America is hard. We got a lot of things working for us, and we got a whole bunch of shit working against us.
It's
you
double
know.
time.
But before we get out of here, one thing I would say, man, for us as black people to get on the same initiative, we're gonna need, like, I don't want to say like another Million Man March type shit, but we're gonna need an event where all of us really going. We all gotta come together. If that shit gonna be on the fucking 41 million niggas on the Zoom call, but
Yeah.
some way, I know it ain't gonna happen. Some way, somehow, we gotta figure out
We
how to
need
get
some
on the
Nat
same
Turner
accord,
shit
man.
to
That's what I'm
happen.
saying. We gotta get on the same accord, because if we don't fix this, man, we gonna continue to spiral down that same
It's gonna have to
trajectory.
be
Like
a
you said, we're
real
going backwards.
uprising.
Yeah,
It's gonna have to
man.
be a real uprising where
Yeah,
Because you would think it happened with the George Floyd situation. You would think it'd be happening with these situations.
because it always almost
yeah,
happens.
you would see it like, oh, it's a little momentum, and then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah. And now I'm starting to realize they're not even publicizing stuff as much anymore. Like, do we not think people are still out here getting killed? We're just
Police
not
still
hearing,
doing bullshit.
Still doing it. We just not hearing about it. I was reading some man was hung.
because I saw that.
Like
The
what?
reason why, because they so focused on Trump.
First off,
Trump
is he
takes
going
up all the news.
to, is he going to jail or not?
no.
No, he gonna play
Yeah,
out
that's
to him.
Teflon
Mr.
Don.
Still
We already
being
said
president.
it. Shout out to Teflon Don. I see you in 2024, baby. Because he gonna win.
He gonna
Ain't nobody
win.
gonna beat that dude. They ain't got nobody against him.
You a damn fool if you vote for Biden.
DeSantis?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
But he ain't.
Did y'all see him fall?
What's the boy, who is homeboy going against him? Shit man, shithead with the fly on him. Soon as the nigga got talking about, I'll never get that shit. Soon as he got talking about black crime shit, that fly like this zip.
Yeah.
As soon as he stopped, that motherfucker, as soon as he stopped, that motherfucker,
Pence running against him too?
Pence put his thing in, yeah. Pence put his
Yeah.
thing in.
Yeah.
Listen, the man is finna plead out to a misdemeanor on all them charges
But how embarrassing
Hold on,
is
but
that?
and
think
still
about it, though.
end up being the
How
president.
embarrassing.
The reason they ain't go hit him with the files at your house, because look who else had files. Biden had files. Everybody got files at their house. So it's like, hey, okay, what you gonna get me on? Because I did what? Who?
Yeah.
I touched.
It's a witch hunt to try and get him to
Yeah.
bag out the race.
man.
Because they know they know Biden can't win again.
But I will admit,
Too old.
on his last, not his last, but one of his speeches, he was going so in on locking up doctors that doing these sex changes on these kids. Like he was going so hard on that. I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, I ain't never heard homie talk like this. It didn't sound like no joke. It sounded like he was on some, I'm coming for this. I'm locking this. I'm changing this. We ain't doing that. And I'm like, hold on now. This man might win. And I'm sitting there watching that shit like, this sounds like some good shit, boy. You feel me? Like, you know, but he's a selling point.
And that's why these politicians, man, we gonna hear what we think we want to need to hear. But then when
Every
you get in
time.
office, what y'all doing?
I was just telling him, you got 20 years of the last Democrats. You got Clinton, you got Obama, and you had 4 years of, that's what, 16, plus the 4 years that Biden finna finish. In them 20 years, them 3 presidents that every black person claims to love right now, them favorite presidents of black people, they said all 3 of them set us back. You had, with Clinton, you had the worst piece of legislation written ever in the history of legislation, the Clinton crime bill that started the mass incarceration of black people. Right. Behind him, you get Obama as a Democrat. Obama didn't give us nothing but hope. So we got false hope.
The affordable health care.
Yeah, but you got hope, or that you can be anything that you can be in this country, but there'll never be another black president in a long, long, long time. Then you get Biden, the motherfucker who wrote the crime bill that started the mass incarceration of black people, and the biggest panderer for black votes ever, to end up giving you nothing.
And that Zoom call, they was like, so man, remember all the black leaders, they had him on that Zoom call, like, so man, you gonna come through? Boy, I I ain't never seen the most disrespectful shit in my life. He like, I don't recall saying that. Yeah, I see y'all later. Bloop. All the black people sitting there looking like the Brady Bunch, looking up, looking down, like what the fuck?
Stop paying attention to what they say and watch what they do.
Yeah, and this is kind of a good segue into our next, episode where we'll be talking about artificial intelligence. Start paying attention to what they're showing us and what they're doing, and not what they're saying. Cause it's some stuff. Like, I don't want to jump the gun, but I cannot wait to start talking about this artificial intelligence stuff because it's getting crazy, and we have to make sure we're knowledgeable of it, and that's the biggest thing. And as black people, just as we kind of mentioned, we have to do a better job of informing ourselves, not just counting on, like, if you see something on social media, guess what? Go Google it. Like, don't just take it for face value. Go Google it so you can get the background information and you can draw your.
Like I said, do your research. We got to start doing more
when y'all
research.
mentioned that to me about when he mentioned to about AI, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I got to look into it.
I went down the whole spell with him. Like,
I got to looking into it, and I talked to you about it. I got to thinking about it more, and I looked some more into it. I was like, you know what? This shit is so relevant now.
It's crazy.
To the point where it almost dictates life now. And if they continue on this path, it's going to dictate everything.
Life is going to look different for us.
Like, you know how many people going to be out of work if AI succeeds?
Yes.
I just told him I made ChatGPT write me up $100,000 grant for, and that motherfucker so impeccable that might get it. Goddamn, I'm gonna say ChatGPT write me. So I had write me a story about a.
But guess what? So dang, see, look, we jumping the gun. But there was an article about that where we're gonna have to start checking it because ChatGPT, whatever, wrote a law case and used fake references.
Shit, yeah.
And so, like, it's getting to the point where, just like we already know, you can't trust technology on its own. Like, man is behind technology. Technology can be tapped, hacked, like, and so, like, people are relying on that, but that's BS too. Like, so we have to be careful. So they may be writing you a grant, but make sure that shit is in alignment because people aren't skimming through. We've become so lazy. Like, let someone else do the work for us.
And like you said, we jumping the gun. But I read this. You know how you said you did the DNA thing? What's the name of the company?
Ancestry.
Ancestry DNA just sold the rights to the world's DNA to this company called Blackstone. Now this company called Blackstone has copies of every person's DNA on Earth. And they can sell it to AI people. And you got dude and them trying to make people already. Cars and other mechanical things that's gonna think like human beings. That's what they're gonna use their DNA for.
That's crazy.
We've given away. You better watch out.
We've given away the sample to be who we are.
Yeah, man, keep it light. Matrix showed us. The Matrix showed us, y'all. But we ain't gonna stop in here. We're gonna let y'all know being black in America is being black. All you gotta do is just like I said, we gotta make sure we get on the same accord. I'm happy we all on the same accord. And if y'all follow what we saying, maybe y'all make the right decision. I got my girl Samira right here. Let them know what.
Oh, you know what? Let's talk. I don't like the way you say my name.
What?
What's my name?
Samira.
Shut.
My name is Shamira.
Shamira?
Yeah,
I don't say the shit. Well, that's like me saying.
It's okay.
Hold on. That's like me saying Pacific. I don't say specific. I say Pacific. My bad. I'm not an S guy.
Pacific is the ocean.
I know. I'm not an S guy though. My S is
I just always let it go when he say Samira.
I always let it go too, but man.
Okay,
I just be hoping he don't say it so he don't say it wrong. Samira. No, so it's Shamira.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Shamira. But it's okay if your tongue a little lazy. You can't get the stuff to come out.
You got a list.
You got a list. You got a list. So she got Camilla.
Ebonics coming out.
Yeah, man.
No,
tongue just.
Yeah, sorry, but I don't like the way you say my name.
I just call her Mira.
Yeah, just call her Mira.
All right, Chief, man, we got Bailey and Tierra with us today. And, yeah.
Oh, my bad. I was in the, how y'all doing today? Like I said, Negative Podcast with Steve Brown. We've been doing a couple of different series. Since it's Juneteenth, we had a couple questions about being black in America. So describe what being black in America is.
I think I love being black. I love, I think being black in America is coming from a place of resilience, coming from a really powerful, unifying people, and it's a really great source of pride for me. And I love being a black American. Yeah.
You said that. With the way society is going with social media and everything, do you feel like we still have a culture, or are we just accepting culture from the world?
She's the expert. Go ahead. You got this.
I think there's definitely a black culture. I think black culture sets the tone for a lot of global cultures. I think that you know, most places in the world, if you look at like what their culture is, if you really go down to the roots of it, it's really black, and a lot of it's West African Yoruba culture. And I think that we as a people should really like look into our history and look into our culture and understand it and dive into it, because I think it is a source of pride, and I think every other culture in the world wants to you know, touch on parts of our culture, and I think we should really have a good understanding and grasp on what we have and try and not exclude other people from indulging in it and participating in it, but I think we should really try and make sure that we're getting the most out of it for ourselves as well, and teaching our community, teaching our kids about where we come from and our culture.
Okay. One of the questions on the show about culture, do we have culture? If we're not able to monetize primarily, we still are.
Sorry?
If we're not able, like most of our cultures for the rest of the world, that monetize.
Right.
Not us.
Right.
So is it still on?
I think so. I think that the thing with blackness is that I think we have to, at the same time, give ourselves, especially black Americans, grace, because we've only been, you know, a free people for only, you know, 5-6 generations. So I think that, you know, for example, my high school classmate, this is her brother's event, and he has been doing these events for years now, and I think it's really allowed even the national community to see all we have going on as a national black culture. So I think as we, as a people, start really looking back at where we come from, looking at our culture, I think that we're starting to really take a little bit more pride in where we come from and claiming what's ours.
Okay. What do you feel about being black in America right now?
It's a tough time. Yeah. It's a tough time. And I'm a former educator. I was employed at Tennessee State University, and without education, we're all in trouble, because the skill set necessary to make money, requires an education. People are not going to pay you just because you look good.
That's true. And that's what the world is chasing too.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we as consumers basically should go ahead and consume our goods from much more black type enterprises rather than everyone else. We may have to pay a little bit more now, but everyone starts off paying a little bit more now, so that later on it can even out. But if you don't do it now, it's not going to even out.
We definitely behind.
Oh yeah.
The dollar turns over twice in the black neighborhood,
and it leaves 3 or 4 times.
Well, you get it, you pay for groceries, etc., and your necessities, and then it leaves the neighborhood,
And you got all these other like foreigners opening up places in our communities, and they're taking our dollar right out of the community, and they really taking it out of the country and spending it overseas, and it's not benefiting us in no way at all. Well, the next question was as far as culture. And I'm pretty sure you all will perceive culture as something different from a lot of these youth now. So, in your definition, what is culture? And do you feel like culture now is whitewashed, or because they're monetizing off of it and not us, and they're dictating what our culture is?
Culture is the stories we tell about ourselves. All right, and if you don't know your history, then you don't have a story.
You don't have a culture.
Okay, so no, you have a culture, but it is then based on external things, all right, like music and dress, as opposed to accomplishments.
I got you.
So. Now, white people will take the best out of our culture, and what do they leave?
Nothing.
Again, that's why I go back to education.
But we reinvent ourselves so much.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our culture is such that we use it up, and then we got to restart it again. Like I said, we have to reinvent ourselves. Whereas the culture that we grow up in, it's one of inheritance. And we have been deprived of our inheritance in the past, so therefore we could not build up because of what happened in the past. Not that we don't have a strong enough culture, our culture is strong, or else we wouldn't even be here at this point in time with our accomplishments.
Okay, go ahead.
With leaders now and role models, do you feel like if you could name one person relevant right now today, who would it be that would be represent us as a people, speaking and in their actions, and as a leader?
Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries?
He is the leader of the Democratic Party in the House of Representatives, brother from New York.
I'm going to look more into him. I'm going to look more into him.
Okay.
The head of the January 6th Commission, Benny Thompson, from Mississippi, who's also a leader. They're leaders in business. What the culture focuses on, let's see,
money,
sports,
finance,
sports, and music. But I'm interested in finance. I'm interested in preserving generational wealth. When we go, do our children get our houses? Do our children get our 401ks that we work so hard for? And what are they going to do with it?
So what do you guys do?
I'm a retired professor.
And you?
I'm an insurance adjuster.
Okay. So how do you think it is being black in America?
I think that it is a little bit, it's progressive and it's oppressive at the same time. I feel like people are going to make strides no matter what. Black people are continuing to make strides, and we're continuing to try to be oppressed. So they can't hold us down. Right. Black people, they've been trying to hold us down ever since we got here. Okay. So I do see, and I don't know if I actually see a whole lot of, but you hear about it a lot. You read about it a lot. You see about it. Personally, I'm good. Okay. But I see it. Okay. I see it in the and also I think that our education system isn't serving us as black people well. And I think
that's what one of the guys said. He said we don't take education seriously.
We don't take it absolutely. And that is a personal thing. Black people have to take that on themselves. That we have to get to the point. Black people have to get to the point where we go, you know what? We got to get smarter. Otherwise, they are going to take over. And that's the goal. They don't want us here. And we're here.
Who are some of our modern day leaders in the black community? Who would you say they were? Today.
Modern day black leaders in the community.
Somebody you consider they can speak up for us.
Yeah.
Leaders.
I still say, even though he ain't president no more, still Obama is still one of the leaders that's gonna speak up for us.
Okay.
I think, Farrakhan, he's still one of the leaders that's going to speak up for us in our community. I don't really, a whole bunch of black leaders. I don't just really know like big, powerful black leaders now today in our community that's really going to speak up on behalf of us. So
that's kind of bad,
I'm going to be honest with you. Real talk. So, just to think about it, like serious.
Okay, so how do you define black culture? What is black culture to you?
Black culture?
Yeah.
Black culture is all about, celebrating, where we come from, who we are, our excellence, everything that make our greatness, our culture, everything that we come from, our strength, our music, our intelligence, our brilliance, our beauty, all that, what I'm saying, the richness of us, deep roots, deep within our roots,
That makes sense. Okay, and what's your name?
My name is Teron, the messenger.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate it. What's up? It's your girl, Mirrors Beauty. And today, we are live at Hadley Park where we are having a Juneteenth event. And we got my girl, CC, with us today. And so we want to ask you a couple of questions. Our first question for you is, what do you feel like it means to be black in America?
I feel like if I didn't supposed to be black, I wouldn't. So, it's right now is the way the world is, it's kind of like, I'm sure, confusing, but I'm gonna embrace who I am and continue to do the things that I was put here to do because I'm here for a reason. So it's more of tapping into me, figuring out what it is in spite of like all the things that are like going on right now.
Okay. And speaking of things that are going on right now, if you had to think about who are some of our modern day, like in today's society, leaders, black leaders, who would you say or who would you mention?
Sad to say, that's kind of, it's a hard question for me to say, not saying that there's none out there, but for it's me just literally like encountering and sitting up, I can't say.
Then you think of somebody on the national level that you would think would be a good spokesperson for us?
I'm gonna say like, well, I can say, can I use like the city? Like, cause I am a member of the NAACP. So, you know, there are some persons on there that really does take that serious and really do stand up for people that look like you and I. So, I mean, I'm not good with the names, I'm better with the faces, but I would, if I had to say from what I know and for me being here, it would be like some of those members that really is concerned about the things that go on and really, you know, want our people to be treated fairly in the way that they should be treated. So, you know, it's just all about just being equal.
I'm always challenging stuff, so I would challenge you with the NAACP, but I'm not.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then our final question is, how do you define black culture?
Like this. This is like really amazing. As we were speaking earlier, I think it's really good that, you know, for us when it comes to Juneteenth, that was acknowledged and put into place, because now that, you know, that's our, I guess you can say, July the 4th, which I think, I mean, for us having something on the weekend and just kind of embracing and just allowing us to be us without any confusion, you know, I think it's a good thing.
You invited to the cookout, like literally, like yeah.
I just started my business in July, so I am a mobile bartender. So just you can follow me on Facebook, Cautious Cocktail by CC. I do private events, weddings, birthday, retirements, whatever you need. I pull up and serve your needs. So check me out again on Facebook, Cautious Cocktails by CC.
All right, thank you. We appreciate you.
So who would you feel like are some of our modern day black leaders?
Some of our modern day black leaders.
Yeah. Who's like leading the community? Who's leading?
Here in our community.
Whoever you feel like leading the
nationally,
it could be locally, somebody you know personally.
A person I know personally, Mr. John Honeysucker.
Okay, Mr. Honeysucker.
Say that again for me.
John Honeysucker.
Okay, what did he do?
He's the assistant director at Metro Water and Waste. He also is a part of the council downtown. Always doing stuff for our community.
And he in Nashville?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is black culture to you?
Black culture to me is us. Us as black folks, helping each other, lifting each other up, being there, preventing violence among us as black folks.
I like that one.
Helping each other grow and elevate.
All right, well, thank you so much for your feedback. We appreciate it. It's your girl, Mary's Beauty, and I got my guy.
My name is Priestley, also director of the Israelite School at UPK.
Okay, well, thank you. So we just have a quick question for you.
All right.
What does it mean to be black in America today?
To be black in America, in all honesty, it's really a condition. Because to call ourselves black is like a color without an identity. The real question is, who is the black people? It's like, what's your real nationality? Truth be told, we are so-called African Americans or descendants of slaves. Actually, we have like our own God, our own language. Biblically speaking, we are part of the 12 tribes of the house of Israel. So that's what it means to be black in America, is to not have an identity.
Well, it's your girl, Mary's Beauty, and as always, I got some people with me today. Could you tell me your names, please?
I'm Michelle Jones. It's my husband, Theo.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being available to answer these questions for us. So we do have a few things, you know, related to being black in America. So what do you feel like it means to be black in America?
You want to go first? For me, being black in America as a woman, it's like an awesome time because there's so many opportunities for women now. Still a struggle,
yes.
But
ways to go.
I am thankful for the opportunities that I have and the opportunities I've been blessed with over the years. Not a lot of people, black women, get the opportunity to work in corporate America and be successful. So I'm glad I've had that opportunity.
So for me, being black in America is more about maintaining my focus. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of obstacles. So if there's something I need to achieve, I have to elevate my focus to an even higher level to rise above that. So I mean, it's challenges, but like my wife said, it's also a good time and it's a blessing to be able to be black in America. I wouldn't change it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so how would you all define black culture?
Ooh, we're losing it a little bit. Black culture is not what it was when I was younger. There's not that, I would say, that passion for black culture that we had when we were younger. But again, something that I wouldn't change. I like the diversity that we have now, the acceptance that we have now through all the cultures, but it is a struggle trying to make sure that my kids understand it and stay rooted in their blackness. So I wish that was a little bit more passionate, but I love it.
And what would that, what would that look like? Mention some of those like traditions in a sense.
Like they don't have the that sense of family like we used to have.
Yes,
and that's because we've all moved away from our families and things like that. So they don't have that connection. Like my best friends are my family. My cousins, my aunts and uncles, those are my best friends, but they don't have that same sense of family like we used to. So
I think our generation was more quick to get out the house.
Right.
And that ruined us. But like mama ain't in the house cooking Sunday dinners anymore. Grandmother's passing away earlier on. So it's definitely changed the dynamic.
And grandparents were a little younger, so now they're, grandparents are
yeah, they don't know.
They're a little bit
My mama thinks she's still trying to go out.
Right, grandparents are a little different now than they were back then. Right. So I wish we still had that sense of whole and sense of community. Right now everybody's kind of chopped up because they've moved across the country and away from family.
That's a good point.
So that's the part that I miss, that we don't have that same culture of family first.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. And I think the passion, like she was saying, to be black, I think that's a little bit lost. Because the authenticity of it. I mean, even when you look at being here, this has a certain type of feel that unfortunately we don't always get because it's not as many of us. So like my wife was saying, like if you're in corporate America, certain spaces you're in, you may be the only black person there. So you assimilate to a different culture, and you don't have that groove and that bop like you used to. So I feel that portion of the passion is lost. Like Generation X, millennials, baby boomers, still holding on to it, but like Generation Z, they really don't.
Do you feel like Generation Z has a culture, or is it what the culture that's being forced on them?
So I believe their culture isn't what we were rooted in. Even when some of the music, the older generation music that we was listening to before, we knew the words, we had the feeling. Just honestly, if my daughter was here, she probably wouldn't be really that interested in listening to it. So they have a culture, but the culture doesn't have enough black in it.
I think they're so mixed now, right? All the cultures are kind of coming together to make their own culture. So they don't have the black culture.
It's like, I don't want to say like we're getting back to the human race, because in that you lose your roots, but kind of getting to that human race, which is a little scary because it's unfamiliar, for sure. And so our final question for you, and we might have another one, is who do you think some of our modern day leaders are?
Relevant right now.
In today's society, like 2023.
For me, and I don't know about our generation, but for me, Michelle Obama is very pivotal for me because she can relate. She can relate to the struggle of coming up, the struggle of being a mother and a wife, the struggle of being a wife in such a difficult position where she still has to remain like strong for her husband. So she's a leader and a force for me.
Oh, that makes sense. They're being educated all while doing
I second that.
Definitely a force.
I definitely agree with that one.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's hard for me to really think of one, because I mean, of course we have like our entertainers or leaders in the community, and I understand it because a lot of times we don't actually see a lot of paths where we can go outside of just entertainment, which isn't bad, but like we can see how to create a path for entertainment, but things when we're talking about business and enterprise, that's kind of difficult, and also navigating through like corporate America is a challenge. So, because I mean, like my daughter, it was a time where all she wanted to do was be an entertainer. She's a sweet girl, but she's not necessarily talented. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no, that makes
She's not a
sense. It's a lot of that out here.
Yeah, she's not a singer. She doesn't have the rhythm to dance. So I'm like, you know,
Do
love,
something else.
that's not, you know, I appreciate that. But let's maybe look at some other areas. So it's hard to say. Like there's some people in the business world, like Robert Smith, he's a billionaire. But most of our culture doesn't know who that is. But if I said Diddy, I mean, like when we look at Jay-Z and Tyler Perry, looks like he bought BET and I believe he has Paramount. Yeah. So, I mean, you see that, and I mean, he's doing huge things because that still take a sense of understanding in business to be able to move like that. But I wish our diversity was more magnified of the leadership that we have. And you know, social media is how we stay connected, and that's what gets views is what's going to be shown.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
Well, we definitely thank you all so much for your time.
Yeah.
It's your girl Mira.
Yeah.
We got our boy
Got
T.Y.
Yeah. And we gonna holler at y'all later, man.
As
Stay
always,
black,
keep
stay
being black.
prayed up.
We black in America.
Stay prayed up.
Man.
Yes.